Welcome back to the Untold Stories about Zarathustra. Second episode. The Persian Zarathustra was a priest and philosopher and is considered the leader and founder of the world's first monotheistic religion, Zoroastrianism, about 4,000 years ago. Zarathustra is unknown to most people, although he has inspired more people and cultures than anyone else over 4,000 years since his birth, including intellectuals, poets, musicians, politicians and even the founders of the Abrahamic religions and great philosophers such as the Greek philosopher Socrates, and the Chinese philosopher Confucius, were inspired by Zarathustra. In the previous episode we saw how Zarathustra inspired the European Renaissance, in the transition from the Middle Ages to modern ages, that took place in the 15th and 16th centuries. In this episode, we start with the 19th century German philosopher, Friedrich Wilhelm Nietzsche, and his master philosophical work, Thus Spoke Zarathustra, which 20 years later inspired both Richard Strauss and Gustav Mahler. In addition to several secondary sources that Nietzsche repeatedly encountered, he adopted the German translation of the Avesta texts, reconstructed by Tuparin. An analysis of his works shows that many metaphors, references, and assertions, in both Thus Spoke Zarathustra, and Nietzsche's notebooks, can be traced back to the Avesta. Consideration of these sources contributes significantly to the understanding of Nietzsche's most famous and important philosophical work, going back another 100 years, The West-Eastern Divan, by German poet, playwright, novelist, and critic, Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, published in 1819, is his most extensive collection of poems, and is a UNESCO World Document Heritage. The West-Eastern Divan of Goethe was inspired by the 14th century Persian poet Hafez and his collected works known as the Divan of Hafez, which is regarded by many Iranians as one of the highest pinnacles of Persian literature. Hafez himself was inspired by Zarathustra and often argues against moral, religious, or social norms of Islam in his poems. He praised Zarathustra with infinite veneration. He called Zarathustra the master of the assembly of Magi. Here is one of them. If they cherish me in the assembly of Magi, it is because of the fire that never dies in me. The fire of Magi burns in my heart. As the words of wisdom from the master of Magi. But you, fanatics, referring to mullahs, I regret, but I don't believe in you. As long as the taverns and wine exist, I shall sing the praises of the master of Magi. Here is the Hafez and Goethe monument on Beethoven Platz in Weimar, Germany. Commemorates Goethe's encounter with the works of Hafez, with two giant, granite chairs, facing each other, in an exact east-west direction. Goethe once said, the Divan of Hafez put him in a creative high mood, which he later described as a repeated puberty. He wrote in a short time numerous poems in a light and playful tone, of Hafez. His editor of the collection of poems in the Frankfurt edition, speaks of an eruptive productivity. In this episode, we learned how Zarathustra inspired late European philosophy and literature. In the next episode, we will discover how he inspired poetry and music in Europe.